And with that, ladies and gentlemen, time for a final makeover to this stage as we come to the finale session right here at the Global Business Summit. And again, another session that we've all been eagerly looking forward to because, this entire summit has been defined by technology, has been defined by strategy and economic ambition, which is why it is essential to also pause and reflect on the human experience. Now, in an age of constant stimulation, anxiety, and digital overload, restorative practices are increasingly going vital. And this fireside conversation explores how music can serve both as art and as therapy. And this is the finale session where we move from innovation to introspection. Now, this particular session is being spearheaded by Amita Vadhwa, Senior News Anchor, Times Network. And ladies and gentlemen, this evening, we have amidst us a torchbearer of a 300-year-old music legacy, a global ambassador of the sitar, a young maestro redefining how the world experiences Indian classical music. Please put your hands together to welcome on stage Rishabh Rikiram Sharma.
I don't think we need any formal introduction for Rishabh, do we? We know him. And if we don't, we have heard him. That is for sure. 100%, 200%, I would say that. And you have a very unique approach. Because when we talk about music, music that has no boundaries, music that touches hearts, music that is healing, you have a very different approach to that. So can you tell us about the initiatives that you have been taking? And in the time, because this global business, summit, it's a disruption of decade and a century of change that we are looking at. So what are the changes through music that you're bringing upon, especially for this generation, Rishabh?
Thank you so much for giving me no introduction because I get awkward. Pleasure being here. Thank you so much. So I run this little experience which is called Sitar for Mental Health. We do mindfulness concerts, experiences throughout the world where the focus is around obviously mental health, but also using Indian music, particularly the sitar, which is my voice, to make more noise about mental health, A, and B, amplify the medicinal properties that it has. So the approach was deeply rooted in tradition. If you read about Rag Chikitsa and Raga therapy as what it translates to, I just wanted to bring it to my audiences, people my age, make it more accessible, whilst also making mental health as like a household thing, because I went through my own struggles with mental health, and whenever you find a new medicine, you want to show it to your friends, right? So that's how it started online, where I was like, hey guys, this actually works, because it worked for me when I was combating anxiety and depression. So yeah, that's largely what I do.
So is music the way out? I mean, how do you believe that music touches you internally?
I think
Does it touch your mind, body, soul, spiritually even?
Yes, I think music was very instrumental, no pun intended. But I think it was combination of therapy, music, and working out that, really helped me get out of that phase that I was in during COVID. But I feel like music has been keeping me and my mental health in check through tough times, or just to get me through the day.
So have you heard of any case studies till now, in a way that you have improved people's lives through your music?
So I've been in chats with, we had a wonderful presentation about brainwaves, where I was super intrigued, like what happens when you listen to a sitar. So there are some ongoing research that we are doing where we are recording brainwaves, ECG reports, and just monitoring them, like what happens when you listen to sitar. So it's still a work in progress. I think it'll still be a couple of years that we can get like real, actual data.
I think we know what happens to us, or namely the women in the audience
That's-
there who are appearing to be very starstruck.
That's the
What
thing,
happens
though.
to them when they see you and you say you play the sitar?
That's the thing, like we receive so many testimonies and so many like personal experiences, like people having emotional releases at the shows, which is wonderful. I also take in account for any feedback that they have. You know, there was some particular thing that we did really help them. So at our shows, we start with a breathing exercise, then we lead on to the meditation, then we do Alap Jod Jhala, which is Drupad music, very ancient tradition in our culture. And then also some familiar tunes, be it my Bollywood, patriotic themes, some original music. So we've sort of like crafted this set, which is like more like a community experience rather than just being a concert.
So how do you imbibe those traditional values with the current, values and the music there? Because music knows no borders, right?
Absolutely.
And that is how music, transcends into our lives. And this is one, especially through COVID or, areas that have seen a lot of disturbances, even in the current scenario that we're looking at. How do you believe that music helps and bringing tradition together with the new generation?
I think it was about time that people realized like what medicinal properties or how Indian music can be beneficial for mental health, because I think I can only speak for mental health. And I just added a little bit of myself to it, to a rich tradition that has always existed. I'm not the first one to be doing this, but I think music is deeply personal, and when you add a little bit of yourself, that resonates with people much more than anything else.
So tell us about your experience, the moment that you take your seat, the moment that the instrument comes in your hand, the moment you shut your eyes, and the moment that you start playing. What happens with Rishabh?
It's always a familiar surprise that I feel like I've been to this place, but it's like I don't know where it's going to go. And that's the journey that happens in the first half of our shows, because second half is like songs, but the first half is completely improvised. So you'll never see the first half of my show repeated twice, because it's whatever happens in that moment. And that's the magic of our music, that
So
whatever you feel
does
like.
that send you or the audience is in a trance?
I think it's a two-way street. Yeah, it's a journey for both of us, because I don't know what
will
I'm
you
going to
talk
play.
about your upcoming tour? Because I believe that
Yes.
is also going to focus on sitar for mental health. And
Correct.
when does it start? And of course, what will be the areas that you'll be focusing on?
See, unfortunately, last year, because of the India-Pakistan conflict, we had to cancel 5 shows. So this is sort of like a comeback from last year, and we've scaled the tour as well to much larger, more sophisticated places. So again, focus on mental health. We are going to be focusing on breathing, meditation, just taking a pause, because we are so overstimulated all the time that these experiences come like a pause for you. So we're doing a 10-city tour, pan-India. Delhi, Mumbai, already sold out. Thank you so much. But I'm really looking forward to sharing my music with you all again.
So what happens, with your journey associated with music that started off very early, but looking at the current times that we live in, how do you believe that this music that transcends all, time and generation and borders as well, what is that feeling that Rishabh actually goes through, especially when it comes to thinking about certain things like mental health, just because you've gone through the phase yourself, and do you believe that that something will also connect with the people on ground or mainly with your audiences?
See, I never claimed to be a therapist or like prescribe it to people that, hey, this is going to help you. I can only speak from like my experiences, how it has helped my mental health. And it's just a thing like, try it if it works for you. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. There are several other coping mechanisms, like for some people, drawing, running, there are different ways people cope with mental health, right? So this is just one of the ways, I think, which is very important.
So is there a favorite piece of music that you would love to play? And which is that you love to play for your audiences?
That's very hard to answer, but one, I believe my music is deeply rooted in devotion, and lately I've been doing devotional music more often. So I think Shiv Kailash is one of my favorite melodies, which is like sort of calms me down, just like whatever I'm going through, it makes me forget that.
Do you believe that the very concept of concert seems to be changing, in terms of devotional music as well? Because this is a very new concept that we're also looking at, where people, and Gen Zs in particular, seem to be focusing a little more towards, say, devotional songs. And with all the kind of hip-hop music, but anyways, they're still learning. So what do you have to say on that concept?
As I said, it was about time. And don't get me wrong, I'm super hip-hop myself. Like, I listen to Kanye West, Playboy Carti, like all the time. Again, I feel like for what worked for us was just like adding myself to it, and Gen Zs are drinking lesser. They are focusing more on health. So I think this was a natural byproduct.
Some businesses are going down because of that.
Yes, for good, I guess. I think people are just prioritizing their health, and which is a wonderful thing. And I'm really honored and grateful that I get to do this and contribute to the society for better.